Okay. So we have to turn in Ringer 100. And I just wanted to go over the top 25 with you, and then we'll go. This is what I have. I sent it to you in advance. And I like this list. We take this list seriously. It's not like the ESPN list. We actually put real thought into the rankings. So I have Jokic 1, Doncic 2, and Giannis 3. We're good at this point, right?
Yeah. Yes.
SGA 4.
Yeah.
Still good.
Still good.
Tatum has to be 5. I don't care what happened in the Olympics. The shit that guy does night to night as a point forward in that team, his defensive stuff, his rebounding, the fact that he's the anchor of a team that won the title and is a 65, 66 win team potentially. I don't know how he's not 5th.
I'm not arguing with you. It's fine.
Curry 6th.
Sure.
Durant 7th.
So here's the thing that I just want to make sure that we talk through. Having both those guys ahead of Anthony Edwards.
Yep.
Who is I think still, even with the slowish start for Minnesota, isn't he still the best two-way player in the game? Yeah, him and Giannis, right?
So I have Edwards 8th, and I have Jalen Brunson 9th, and I have Anthony Davis 10th. And Edwards was the hardest one to figure out. But I think to me, it comes down to Durant and Curry have the resume that Edwards is still building. And I just wasn't ready to have him jump those guys yet.
You know what's funny is, and I'm not accusing you of this, but in my mind's eye, having just watched the Olympics and watching them be the big brothers to him, he was the little brother on that team, and his role was vital. His contribution was tremendous. But watching those two guys when it was night time, it was, Curry especially. I'm not going to
the
quibble
legacy
with it.
of it.
I'm not going to quibble. I'm not going to quibble.
Jalen Brunson 9, Davis 10. I thought what was interesting about this part of the exercise, that's clearly the top 10.
Yes.
And you could quibble about, could Tatum be switched with Durant? You could go through and you could fight me on any of that stuff.
Fine. Yeah.
I think that has to be the top 10. I have Mitchell 11 and Booker 12, and I don't think they're sniffing that top 10.
Not on my list. I like both of them. They're not in the top 10.
All right, I have Paolo 13, I have Jalen 14, and I have LeBron 15.
Okay.
And
pretty incredible.
Jalen versus Paolo. Paolo, I'm not going to ding him because he's hurt. He got an injury. He'll be back. He'll be fine. But I just think for what we were watching him do with Orlando, it's a tiny step higher than what Jalen can do. But Jalen has to be a top 15 guy for me at this point.
Finals MVP, I would say so. Yeah.
Then and LeBron, it's like year 22.
It's the best. He's the coolest.
Yeah, you could tell me he should be 5 spots lower.
Nah.
It seems right. 15 seems right for him because he could still do what he did last night. He put up 39.
I want to say it respectfully, but the guys right behind him in this list, not putting bitch ass. I won't say any names ahead of LeBron. Come on.
So this is another interesting cluster. 16, 17, 18, Wembanyama, Sabonis, Adebayo. And Wembanyama, because of the defense and all these on-off stats with just how destructive he is defensively. Sabonis, I think, has to be in the top 20 for what he's doing night to night. Adebayo was the one where I was almost ready to shove him out of the top 20. I don't think he's looked good this year.
I have
trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, right?
Well, because he's earned it, and because his defensive metrics remain. I mean, I don't know what they are through these first 7 or 8 games, but the underrated, quiet part of his game, how he inflicts his will on games, it doesn't show through box score wise, and it doesn't even really show through when you're sitting and watching, except for that he tilts the floor defensively for them. That's how they end up winning mid-40s. I don't know, man. Who the names you have behind him don't deserve to be ahead of him, in my humble opinion.
Well, I have Towns 6 spots behind him, and he kicked his ass last week.
Okay,
I'll keep him at 18.
Okay.
Then I have a bunch of guards. Fox 19, John Morant 20, Maxey 21, and Kyrie 22. I think Kyrie has been a professional now for 2 years. And, he's 23 to 26 a game and makes 40% of his threes. And you could go to it at the end of the games. You got to hand it to him.
The one that I think is going to make a leap and make us really work hard is Tyrese whenever he comes back from this hamstring injury, because he is sick. I mean, speaking of guys with two-way potential.
Yeah, you put Maxey, Morant, and Fox, and that's a nice little battle for out of those three guys. Who would you rather have? Jalen Williams at 23. Karl Anthony Towns up to 24. I've been really impressed with him on the Knicks.
On the one hand, it shouldn't surprise us that it's working, except for on the other hand, it's Karl Anthony Towns and it's working.
But you know what the revelation has been? And it's not a revelation because we've seen him do it, but he's this is the position he should be, as a stretch five on a team like this, not playing with Rudy Gobert, even though the Rudy Gobert thing worked and they almost made the finals. But I love what I've seen with him and Brunson.
Yeah, well, that's you got to the Brunson part. The Brunson part is the part to say out loud. Yeah, because he's playing with the top three point guard, real point guard.
Chet, 25. I think he's a top 25 guy now.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to hear me argue to the contrary. He came out on fire with a commitment to the defensive end that was the project for the summer. When they broke, it's like, Chet, here's what we want you to do this summer. A, keep eating. Go to Arby's once a week. But B, we want to see some rim protect. We want to see those rotations. So can you work on that? And he showed up. He's like, hey, I'm here. I'm doing my rotations. Watch me, coach.
Chet, eat this deep fried turkey sandwich from Arby's. So after that, then it's another drop off, and we could argue, and I'm not going to go through everybody, but you go into this Jimmy Butler, Halliburton, Embiid. No idea where to put him anymore.
What are you
no idea how
supposed to
many
do
games
with him?
he's playing.
Right.
James Harden.
Good job by him. Good job by Harden.
Marketing, Zion, Paul George. Then it gets complicated. But I do think that's the top 25 in some order.
I love it. It's great. When do we get to do this again?
You have no notes on this?
No, because it's so early, and we're just sort of like trying to be measured, trying to have a little bit of a proper reaction. I like that you gave some extra credit to the OGs because of how they gave another gold medal to America, like that aspect of it. But this is, it's constantly evolving. It's constantly a work in progress, and it's going to be fun to when we do this again in a month. What's it going to look like? Like, who are the most likely to drop out and who's most likely to jump in?
So the big storylines coming out of this exercise is that I think the top 10 is unassailable now, at least for right now. We have a top 10. Jokic, Doncic, Giannis, SGA, Tatum, Curry, Durant, Edwards, Brunson, Davis. Those are the 10 best guys in the league right now. And then I think Towns and Holmgren moving in the top 25 is significant.
It's great.
I would have had those guys in the 30s this summer. And then Wembanyama, who I had 10 heading into the season, dropping to 16. Not nothing either. So
that's Jacoby.
We'll see. Maybe Jacoby's gonna be a Skip Bayless. he's gonna start every show with the lose Wembanyama attack.
Jacoby Bayless.